When I first started in the industry, I remember pre-construction condos were $100 per square foot. You don't see that now, and you're probably scratching your head wondering why pre-construction condos are actually not cheaper than resale. And let me explain why in this video. So gone are the days when things were a little bit cheaper, because back then you were investing along with the developer in a project that wasn't, there was nothing there before. The industry was really not so mature, and condos weren't so popular. I mean, there's a lot more single family homes being built than there were condos, and the skyline didn't look like what it did today in terms of population growth and density and all that. So you're making a bet with a developer that was going to get built into a product that you liked. So of course they were going to make it a little cheaper. But the industry's gotten a lot more mature now, and not the profits have been squeezed out of it. It's just that everything's gone up in price. And let me explain why there's such a discrepancy between pre-sale and resale. So in the pre-sale market or pre-construction, basically what actually happens, if you don't know what it is, it's basically you put down your money on a project that's going to be built. There's nothing there yet. The developers get their approvals, they go through the whole process, they get their financing, they get the project off the ground, and this whole process takes about 5 years from start to finish. During that time, you put your deposit down of say 15 or 20% within 2 years. And every project is different, but that's pretty much the standard. And you're buying with future dollars today. So the biggest benefit of buying pre-construction is that time is on your side, where you don't have to worry about the maintenance, you don't have to worry about a mortgage, you don't have to worry about taxes, tenants, none of those headaches. It doesn't have to be there, and all you're doing is just waiting for it to appreciate rents and the price itself of the asset itself, while you're waiting for the place to be completed. Now, in the past couple years, rents have been slowly increasing, and actually the past couple months have been increasing drastically, but ultimately it's pretty slow compared to the price that's appreciating. So the rental yields are getting a lot lower. That's just kind of normal with any kind of mature asset class, and that's just generally what happens. But ultimately, if you're going to buy a condo, the first thing is that you're going to get a better location. So generally, if you buy something in a major urban city where they allow this kind of density, these tall towers, that land is a lot more valuable than if you were to buy a house in the suburbs, right? Because that's where most of the single family homes are anyway. They're little outside of the city core, and that just naturally makes sense, right? The land value is actually a lot more. So that's one of the many reasons why pre-construction condos cost more than resale. But if you're comparing new condo versus an old condo, well then also labor and materials prices have gone up significantly since those days when the resale ones were built, right? So you gotta not have to forget about that. If you're comparing condos to other asset classes, generally, the price per square foot is higher for condos, but the end cost is much lower. I mean, compared to a single family home, which would be, the average price of a Toronto detached house is $1.7 million. I would say in the good areas, you're probably looking at least over $2 million. And a commercial property and multiplex, they're going to be a lot more money, but you get economies of scale buying more real estate. You just got to put more money into it. So not a lot of people can actually do that. Not a lot of people have the deposits or the down payments to buy into those asset classes. So you can have a bigger audience in the condo market, and so there's a lot more dollars chasing fewer product, I guess you could say. So that's kind of what just pushes it up in terms of the value. Now when you go to exit, that's not a bad thing, because then you have a bigger audience to sell to as well too, right? So that's one of the reasons why pre-construction condos are a lot more expensive than resale or any other kind of asset class, because the market's there. The market cap is there, really. Another thing is that the price of resale doesn't usually factor in the cost of the maintenance as well too. So I'm not talking about the maintenance fees. I mean, maintenance fees go up as well too, because it's an older building and things need fixing. But there's maintenance, painting and things like that. Just small little things. Maybe you need a new bathroom or kitchens. If you're buying a pre-construction, you're going to get a brand new product. So when you get that brand new product, everything is new. You get the better technologies, better window technologies, better efficiencies, things like that, right? Like just the building efficiencies for utilities is lower. So on one hand, it is nicer to have more space. The condo sizes actually have to shrink in order to keep the end price unit down versus a resale condo. Another thing I should say is that the real estate market in Canada is generally a lot higher than it is in other parts of the world, like even the States. I mean, I don't think I want to be careful how I say this, but I don't think Canadian companies are as strong as they are in the US. Like, it's just the culture of entrepreneurialism. I don't know what it is, but we find a lot more of a stock market, you know, that's reflective in that. A lot of these condos, I mean, a lot of these companies aren't as mature as they are in the US. A lot of innovation comes out of there. I mean, Canada is still great too, but I just find the proportion of people investing into real estate versus stocks in Canada for Canadian companies is a lot higher here. And that probably explains why as compared to the States. Another reason why pre-construction condo prices are a little bit higher is because nowadays, in order to differentiate themselves from other condos, some developers are building iconic buildings, and it's like almost like getting bragging rights to buy into the latest project that's just like, you know, architecturally stunning and just very famous with a hotel component into it, and just like a really nice place to be. So, you know, people don't think about that, but if you think about the average resale condo, average pre-sale condo, that is, again, you're going to get a shiny new product when the place is built. And another benefit of that is that it's not going to be rent controlled. If it's built after 2017, it's not rent controlled. So that's also something that you can't really quantify in terms of the price, right? Hopefully that explains it a little bit. But yeah, I just want to make sure that long gone are the days, because I get a lot of people asking me, hey, I'm interested in buying a pre-sale condo for $500,000. Well, I'm sorry, that doesn't really exist. Not even in the outer suburbs like Etobicoke, Mississauga. Like, it's starting to get more expensive than what Toronto was 2 years ago. So hopefully that tells you something. It's still a great place to put your money into, because at the end of the day, it's all about leverage, right? The cash on cash returns are huge. If you're able to get a mortgage 5 times of what you're putting down in terms of cash, well, hey, you're gonna get 100% of the leverage gain on it. So say you buy a $600,000 condo, well, all you have to put down is 20%, $120,000. And if it appreciates at 10% a year, that's 60 grand on 120,000. So essentially the cash on cash is 50%. Now, of course, there's some exit costs, like there's, you know, land transfer taxes and real estate agent fees and a whole bunch of other things that you may not have factored in. And you can't forget that it's not as liquid as other investment types. However, you can refinance pretty much at any time you want to. It just depends on the fees and what you're locked into. So you still can get your money out, or at least a portion of your money out. But I would say just let it grow. I mean, there's there's a lot of many good reasons of buying real estate. But in some cases, if you're comparing pre-construction versus resale, some cases resale is better. It's like when you have the capital down and you can just buy the whole place, you know, with a lower loan to value, you get the mortgage now and you want the place now, then maybe it's a better time to buy now, because you can always get something a little older that has better value with maybe a balcony or parking or something that you don't normally get in pre-construction now. Ultimately, I would still continue to buy real estate. You know, even if you have a lot of properties out there, there's always B lending that you can go to. There's little alternative lending solutions that aren't as strict. And, you know, if you have to pay a 1% fee, 2% fee, what's that going to cost you overall if you think about it, right? The opportunity cost of not buying is actually a lot bigger than if you were to buy at a higher rate. So with that, real estate is a tailored solution. That's where we have jobs as real estate agents to help you guide you through the process and find the right solution for you based on your scenario. We'd be happy to walk you through every scenario. Just give us a shout, and we'd be happy to talk to you a little bit more about this solution. Thanks for watching.